Dear student, welcome back to our class. This class is for cost accounting, CMA Inter, and today we are discussing the third illustration of chapter number 2, marginal costing, decision making tools. So without wasting any time, let us move to the chapter and start illustration number 3. So I'm sharing my screen with you. Now you can see on your screen illustration number 3. So in a factory producing two different kinds of articles, the limiting factor is the availability of labor. From the following information, show which product is more profitable. So they are asking us which product is more profitable. At the same time, they are saying there is a limiting factor, and that is labor. Clearly given here, labor is a limiting factor. So we have to check with the limiting factor of labor, out of the two products A and B, which one is more profitable? See, if the question is simple without having any limiting factor, normal contribution, whichever is higher in case of A or B, between A and B, which one is more profitable? If we want to check, we have to just see the normal contribution per unit. If the contribution is more, that product will be more profitable. If limiting factor is given, we have to calculate the contribution per unit of that particular limiting factor. So let us see how we have to solve this question. So we will read the information quickly. Material is 5 rupees for product A per unit and 5 rupees per unit for product B. Labor, you can see here, 6 hours are required. 6 hours we need to produce product A at the rate of 50 paisa per labor hour. So this way it is 3 rupees per unit. Same way 3 hours are required to produce product B. Okay, and other overheads are given to you. 50% of labor, that is fixed, 1.5, 0.75. Now moving on here, what they are giving next, variable overheads are also given 1.5, 1.5. So this way total cost is 11 and 8.75. Selling price is 14 and 11. Profit has been given and total units are given. So at the last they are saying maximum capacity per month is 4,800 hours. So means labor hour available to us in the question is 4,800. That's why this is limiting factor. So now we have to see which product is more profitable. So let us move to our Word file. Here we will solve this question. So first of all, we will prepare as usual marginal cost statement. Okay. So marginal cost statement we are preparing. Marginal cost statement. So first of all, we'll write the selling price per unit. Selling price, everything is per unit for product A and product B. So product A, it is given selling price is 14, and for product B, it is given 11. Let us check once again. 14 and 11. Yes. And the material, now we have to minus the variable cost. So less variable cost. So what are the elements of variable cost given to us? First of all, material is given. Material is 5 for both products. After that, labor is given. Labor here in the case of A, it is 3, and here it is 1.5. Okay, labor is 1.5. Fixed overhead we don't consider for calculating the contribution. Now moving to the variable overhead, it is 1.5 each. So variable overheads are given 1.5 here, 1.5 here. So these are the elements of variable cost. Let us calculate the total variable cost. Here it comes 9.5 and here it comes 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now contribution per unit we can calculate. Contribution per unit will come, that is sales minus variable cost, contribution per unit. So 14 minus 9.5, it comes 4.5, and here it comes 11 minus 8, 3. But this is normal contribution. Now because of limiting factor, we have to check how much contribution we are getting per labor hour. So because labor hour has to be considered for limiting factor. So how much benefit we are getting for 1 hour of labor? How much contribution we are getting for if we are spending our 1 labor hour? So this is the meaning. So contribution per labor hour. So we have to check how many labor hours are required to produce product A, as it is given in the question 6 hours. Okay. And here it is 3 hours. So per unit it will come 4.5 divided by 6. How much it comes? Let us check. 4.5 divided by 6. It comes 0.75. And here in this comes 3 divided by 3. It comes 1 rupee. It means in case of product B, if we give our 1 labor hour to produce product A, then we are getting only a contribution of 0.75. But if the same labor hour is applied to produce product B, we are getting 1 rupee benefit, 1 rupee contribution. It is clear from this calculation that product B is more profitable than product A. Okay, so here we will write as the contribution per labor hour as the contribution per labor hour is higher for product B it will be more profitable. Now we will see how it is more profitable. We will give a proof. So we'll see how much profit we are getting if we are producing only product A, or if we are producing product B. So let us check this. So proof, we can give here proof. So product A, product B. Okay, so here in case of product A, how much is the total hours available for labor, because we have to see with respect to labor. So hours available, 4,800 total, and 4,800. Here we are seeing if we produce product A only or product B only. So if we produce product A only, so for full 4,800 hours we are using here. So how many hours are required to produce 1 unit? So hours required for 1 unit. So for this 6 and for here 3. So how many units we will get? Units. Here 6, 8, 48. 800 units we can produce maximum to maximum. And here we can produce 1,600 units. So if we produce product A, okay, then in case of product A, normal contribution, how much we are getting? We are getting a contribution of, you can see here, contribution per unit was 4.5. Okay, 4.5. But okay, we have to prepare the full marginal statement. We cannot start here directly with contribution because fixed cost is also there. So 800 units of A and 1600 units of B. So here we will write sales. We will check how much profit we are making. Sales for product A, it would be for A and B. So here we have 800 units. For product A, we have 800 units. And for product B, we have 1600 units. Okay. So sales, how much it would be? So our selling price is, as you know, 14. Multiply by 800. So total sales will be 11,200 for product A. And for product B, it would be, here selling price is 11. So 11 into 1,600, it would come 17,600. 17,600. So this is sales. And from this, we will minus our all variable costs. So material, as you know, 5 rupees per unit is there. So 5 8 ja 40, 4,000 here, and here 16. Here it would be 8,000. Labor here was 3 rupees per unit, and here it was 1.5. So 3 8 ja 2,400, and here would be 1.5. So 1.5 multiply by 1,600, it would be 2,400. Now variable overheads are given to us 1.5 in each case. So for 1,800, 1.5, sorry, 800 multiply by 1.5, it is 1,200, and here it would be 1,600 multiply by 1.5. It is 2,400. Fine. So these are our variable expenses. So total variable cost would be 4 and 2 6 and 1 7, 7,600. Here it is 800, and here it is 12,000. So this is our variable cost. So how much contribution we are getting here? Contribution is 11,200 minus 7,600. It comes 3,600. 3,600 is the contribution, and here our contribution would be 17,600 minus 12,800. So it is 4,800. Now to calculate our profit, we have to subtract the fixed cost. Fixed cost. So they have given us fixed cost that it is 50% of labor. So let us check how much is the labor. Labor is 2,400, 2,400. It means 50%. 50% of labor. 1,200 and 1,200. So if we minus that, how much profit we are getting? Here we are getting 2,400, and here we are getting 3,600. So here it is clear. We have proved here that if we produce only B, then our profit would be more, because 4,800 labor hours are available, and the whole labor hours means complete 4,800 labor hours. If we are using just to produce only B, we are not producing product A, then we are getting a total profit of 3,600. But if we produce only A, not B, then our profit is just 2,400. So it is proved that to produce B would be more profitable. So this question is over now. Let us see what is next in our material. So here is the solution given. So you can check here also and see here the profit here is 2,400 and 3,600. So now moving on to the next. Now it comes make or buy decision. So question is before us. For make or buy decision, before we proceed, I'll give you some basic idea behind make or buy. Make or buy. there are two things: make or buy. Make or buy decision means, suppose you are manufacturing certain product. In that product, you need a component. Now, the option is either you can make it inside your factory also, or the ready-made you can buy it from outside market. So if this is the situation, how you would decide whether this component should be produced inside the factory, or it should be bought from outside the factory from an external supplier. So here, in this case, you have to remember, number two things will be available to you. One is purchase price. Means if you buy it from outside, market purchase price. Okay. And the second is if you produce inside. So here you have to calculate your marginal cost. Always remember, marginal cost is your variable cost, marginal cost. So you have to make a comparison between these two. So how to decide whether we have to buy it from outside or we have to make it inside the factory? So what we would check in this case, that if marginal cost means only variable cost, do not include any fixed cost while taking this decision. Okay. So suppose your marginal cost for any product is 2 and it is available in the market at less than 2. Less than 2 means 1.9, 1.99 also, or 1.5 or something like that, which is less than the marginal cost which you are having. So if you are producing, you have to pay 2 rupees as your marginal cost. But if you buy from outside, it is 1.5. So in this case, it is always beneficial to go for the outside decision, outside purchase. So in that case, we will buy it from the outside market. Fine. So if the reverse is the condition, say, for example, if it is available in the market for 5 rupees and your variable cost only it comes 3.5, it is less, then it is always beneficial to make it inside. So this type of decisions are taken based on the marginal cost and market purchase price. So whichever is less, we have to go with that decision. Okay. So this is there. 1 second. So now we will see our question, what is given here. So they say a mobile manufacturing company finds that while it costs 6.25 rupees each to make a component, and the name of the component is X2370, the same is available in the market at 5.75. So what they are giving you, it is available in the market for 5.75, and when you manufacture the same, it costs you 6.25. So by seeing this situation or the pricing, anybody can say, no, we should go outside and buy it because outside it is available at 5.75. But let us see the breakup of this case cost, that if we are manufacturing it, how the cost comes to 6.25. Okay. So here they have given you direct material is 2.75. Direct labor is 1.75. Other variable overheads are 0.50. Depreciation and other fixed cost is 1.25. So see here, the fixed cost has been included. So that is the thing we have to exclude. And then after we will check how much cost comes. So if we remove this depreciation and fixed overhead, so 6.25 minus 1.25. So here 6.25 is our total manufacturing cost. From this we will minus the depreciation. How much depreciation is given to us? 1.25. So if we remove the fixed expenses, our cost comes to 5 rupees, just 5 rupees. And the product is available in the market at 5.75. So as I told you previously, whichever is less, the variable cost or marginal cost here is less. If we produce it, it will just cost 5 rupees. If you go for market, you have to pay 0.75 extra. So in this case, we will take decision to manufacture the product inside, means in-house manufacturing of the component, right? So this question is over now. Moving on. Okay, one more point is given here. First question was, should you make or buy? So answer is, we will make it. Second is, what would be your decision if the supplier offers the component at 4.85? Yes, we will go for it. So if the component is available at 4.85, if he says no, 7.5, I will give it to 4.85, something like that, which is less than our marginal cost, then we would go for market. Okay, then in that case, we should not produce it inside the factory, right? Okay, moving on to illustration number 5, diversification of production. Let us check what they say in this question. Okay, illustration 5 says the following data are available in respect of product A manufactured by Pankaj Limited. Sales are given. This is data for product A. Sales is given 2.5, direct material 1, direct wages, variable overhead, fixed overhead. Okay, the company now proposes to introduce a new product B so that the sales may be increased by 50,000. There will be no increase in fixed cost, and the estimated variable cost would be product B R. So this will be the variable cost, extra variable cost when we produce B. So whether it is profitable to go for the new product or not, this is the question. So let us check. See, all depends upon if by introducing this new product, if our overall existing profit goes up, then definitely we will go. If it will make no difference or our profit goes down, then who will produce this? Nobody. So example number 5 here is, let us first check. Okay, they say product A and product B. We will take both the product together and overall profit, how much it is increasing or decreasing. Let us check. So we have product A already, product A. Now this is the new product, product B. Okay. Let me here bring it, because we have to make one total call so that we can see the overall effect on profitability. So this is for product B and this is total. Fine. So first of all, as usual, we will prepare our marginal cost statement. So we'll write here sales. So how much existing sales we have already for product A? It has been given to us 2,50,000. And for product B, they are saying that total sales will increase by 50,000. So for 50,000 will be sale for product B. And overall sales will be 3 lakhs, right? Now from this, we will subtract all our variable expenses. So variable cost. So variable cost, let us check in the question. It is given for A, direct material 1 lakh, direct wages 50, variable overhead 25, 150, 25. So material 1 lakh, labor or wages 50,000, variable overheads 25,000. In case of product B, it is given down 24, 11, 7, 24,000, 11,000 and 7,000. Okay, so this is our total variable cost. Now let us check how much is the total. Here it is 175 and here it is 24, 35, 35 and 7, 42. 42,000. This total also we can make 124. It is 61. It is 32. Altogether, it would be 5 to 7, 7, 4, 11, and 2, 217. This way also we can check 4 or 217, 6, 2, 8, and 3, 11, 112. Correct. Now, how much contribution we are getting here? Total contribution will be sales minus variable cost. So 250 minus 175. So 250 minus 175. So it is 75,000. Here contribution comes 8,000. So total contribution would be 83,000. Okay. Now contribution is there. We need to minus our fixed cost. Fixed cost. So how much fixed cost is given in the question? Fixed cost is given only for product A, 50,000, because it is given in the question that if we produce product B, there would not be any extra fixed cost. No increase in fixed cost is given. So only fixed cost is with respect to product A. So product A fixed cost is 50,000. There is no fixed cost here. Total fixed cost is 50,000. So how much profit we are getting now? Profit here we are getting 25,000. Here the complete 8,000 of your contribution would be pure your profit. So 25 plus 8 is equal to 33. So total profit we are getting 33. This way also it comes 33. So it is indicating that when we were producing only product A, that time our profit was just 25,000. By introducing the product 8B also, our overall profit has been increased by 8,000. So it would be profitable for the company to introduce product B, because the overall profit has gone up to 33,000 from 25,000. So yes, the decision to produce product B is profitable. Moving on to illustration number 6. See, my intention here is to cover all your numericals given in the material, because sometimes when we are doing self-study, many students are there which face difficulty in understanding the numerical which are solved also. So it just start or help for those students, okay, so that they can have more clear understanding of these numericals. Fine. So here illustration 7 is in front of you. This is very small and very simple question. They say P Company Limited has an overall PV ratio of 60%. Variable cost of the product is 2. What would be the selling price? Okay. So PV ratio is giving 60%. Variable cost is 40. So example number 6 or illustration number 6. They say PV ratio is given to you 60%. Yes, 60% is your PV ratio, and your variable cost is given to you is rupees 20 per unit. Now they are asking you what is the selling price. So in such question, how to proceed? First of all, you see what they are giving, PV ratio, and what value they have given to us, only variable cost. So we know this thing, in any condition, if PV ratio is 60%, automatically your variable cost ratio, it would be 40%. Okay, this is a check. So if it is 75%, it would be 25%. If they have given you variable cost ratio, then you can easily find out PV ratio also. Fine. So here in our question it is giving 60% PV ratio, so it would mean that variable cost ratio would be 40%, right? So variable cost is 40%, and now actual variable cost is given to you 20 rupees. So we can do it in many ways. So very simplest ways, let us assume selling price they are asking, we will assume selling price. Let the selling price rupees X. Okay. So how much is our variable cost ratio? Variable cost is 40%. 40% of X. So it will be 40x by 100. Okay. Or we can simplify this 0, 0, 2 2 ja 4, 2 5 ja 10, 2 by 5x. So this is our variable cost. But actual variable cost is given to you is 20 in the question. So actual variable cost is given to us is 20. It means we can bring this together. 2x by 5 is equal to 20. So x is equal to, what will we do? 20 into 5 by 2. So it would be 10 times 50 would be your selling price. Answer. Simple. Okay. Or you can assume 100 also. By that method also we can do. So there are methods available. So here the answer we can check whether, yes, it is 50. Moving on to illustration number 7. This is for illustration number 7. It is for export market versus home market, whether we have to export the product or home market. Let us have a little reading of this paragraph, what they are asking. A firm engaged in supplying goods in the home market and having a surplus production capacity may think of utilizing it to meet export orders at a price lower than that prevailing in the home market. Such a decision is made only when the local sale is earning a profit. That is, when the fixed costs have already been covered by the local sales. In such cases, the export price is more than the marginal cost. It is advisable in such cases, if the export price is more than the marginal cost, it is advisable to enter the export market. Any reduction in the selling price in the local market to utilize the surplus capacity may adversely affect the normal local sales. However, dumping in the export market at a lower price, even below the marginal cost, in order to capture the future market, has no adverse effect on the local sale. Okay, what they are saying here, that suppose you are producing goods and you are selling in the home market, right? Now, after selling the product in the home market, and you have already covered your fixed cost, and you have extra surplus capacity to produce more also, and in that condition, suppose if you are getting an export order, and export price is the selling price which you will charge for an export order is lesser than the local market price also, selling price also. Even that condition, we can enter into the export market to make our place in the export sales. Okay, so that is always beneficial because there is no extra fixed cost. Whatever you are getting, that will be your pure profit, plus you have entered into an export market. But in that condition, you have to be very careful in respect that the selling price of the foreign market should at least cover your variable cost, if not the fixed cost, because fixed cost we have already covered in the local market. So would be beneficial for the company. So this one more example we will see, then we will do the rest of the question in the upcoming classes. So they have one question here in front of us, illustration number 7. Indo-US company has a capacity of 5,000 articles, but actually produce only 2,000 articles for home market at the following cost. So capacity is 5,000, but they are producing only 2,000 in the local market. So material is 40,000 rupees, wage is 36, fixed overheads are given to you 12,000, variable are given 20,000, and administrative overhead fixed, these are fixed, it is given 18,000. Selling and distribution overheads are giving fixed and variable 2 portions. Okay, fine. So total cost is coming 1,52,000. The home market can consume only 2,000 articles at a selling price of 80. So in the home market, the selling price is 80 per unit, and they're saying in the home market maximum you can sell 2000. So it means you have an extra production capacity of 3000 still with you. So what they said, an additional order for a supply of 3000 articles is received from a foreign customer at 65. You can see how below the price of the local market it is available 65 only. The foreign customer is ready to be only 65 as compared to local market price of 80. Should this order be accepted or not? Let us check whether by selling the 2000 articles in the local market, we are able to cover our fixed cost or not. Let us check that one. Then we will see whether our foreign price of 65 is covering our variable cost or not. Okay. So let us check that. So for this, we will prepare a statement here to see whether our local market, so this is for local market. In the local market, how much we are producing and selling? 2000 units. Okay. So how much is sales? Sales would be at the rate of 80. Here we are charging 80 rupees. So 2080 multiply. So 2 8 is 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,60,000. From this, we will minus our variable cost. So let us check what are the variable costs given to us in the question. Material 40, wages 36. 40, 36. Material 40,000. Labor 36. Other variable overheads, let us check. Factory overheads are given fixed 12,000, variable 20,000. So variable factory overheads are 20,000. Variable factory overhead 20,000. Okay, moving on. This is over. Administrative overhead, this is fixed 18,000. Selling and distribution overhead, variable portion is 16,000. So variable selling and distribution 16. Variable selling and distribution expenses are 16,000. So this is our total variable cost. So how much it is? Let us check. 6 6 12 carry 2 1. Sorry, carry 1. 4 and 4 8 and 2 10 1 11 1 1 2 112,000. Okay, fine. So here we are getting a contribution of 160 minus 112, 48. 48,000. From this, we will see whether we are able to cover our fixed cost here. And for that, we have to check our fixed cost given in the question. So one fixed cost is here, fixed cost 12,000, factory overhead. And let us write that 12,000 fixed factory overhead, 12,000. Then we have administrative overhead fixed 18,000. Admin overhead 18,000. Then we have 10,000 selling and distribution. Selling and distribution overhead 10,000. So how much it is? 40,000. 12, 10, this is 30 and 140. So 40,000 is our total fixed cost. So we are getting 8,000 rupees of pure profit after covering our entire 40,000 rupees of fixed cost. This is our pure profit from the local market. Okay. Now, if we are selling it into the foreign market, what would happen? So this is foreign market. Here we are selling at the rate of 65. The offer comes for 65. So if you see here, our total variable cost was how much? 112,000. So you can see here a simple calculation, 112,000, 1,12,000 divided by 2,000. So because 2,000 units we are selling here. So how much we are getting? 56. It means our variable cost is 56. So if we are selling in the foreign market without any extra fixed cost, our selling price in the foreign market is 65 and our variable cost comes 56. So it is profitable. So why don't we go to foreign market and capture that market? It would be advisable. So how we can explore the second, okay, we'll see the effect, overall effect. So here units are 3000, right? 3000 units are available for foreign market. So selling price in the foreign market is 65. Variable cost comes to us 56. Just now we saw 56. It was 56, no? Yes. So how much contribution per unit we are getting? Here we are getting a contribution of 9. So it means for 3000 units, total contribution will be, so total contribution would be 3000 multiplied by 9, it is 27,000. So 27,000 rupees is our total contribution, and there is no fixed cost because fixed cost we have already recovered in our local market. So fixed cost is nil. So our profit from the foreign market would be 27,000 pure. So it will make our overall profit, and our overall profit would be shifted from, in the local market we were getting 8,000 rupees of profit. Now 27 extra from foreign market. So total profit would be 8,000 plus 27,000, 35,000. That's all. So here you can make a note that yes, it would be beneficial for the producer to go for the export market, as the overall profit will boost up from 8,000 to 35,000, adding 27,000 a foreign market profit. Okay, because a variable cost is already recovered. So it is, and there is no extra fixed cost also. So that's all for today, dear student. I hope you have enjoyed this session, and if you have any comment you can make. If you need more improvement in the teaching methodology, you can very well comment on the in the comment box. And I hope you have understood today's concept. You can watch this video again and again and share with your friends if they are also studying CMA, or if they are studying cost accounting and this chapter is there, it would be beneficial for them also. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed this session. We will make another video very soon, and we will discuss the remaining questions of this chapter, marginal costing CMA intermediate, okay, in the next class. So till then, take care, have a nice day, all the best.